So let's copy this down. Pascal programming. We are going to write about the identifiers. This is going to be the first point. So you may write only the highlighted parts. Asit me, do I have highlighted some things on the screen? So you may copy that down. Since we have discussed about the Pascal programming, the basic stuff the week before, we just write the things and we'll go to the Pascal programming, the coding part. Let me know when you are done, people. And meanwhile, I'm going downwards little by little. Yes, can we move forward? I'm scrolling up. Just let me know if you miss anything. Yeah, that's it. About your question, like the name, like it doesn't matter how you are going to write name using which kind of letters, whether the uppercase or the lowercase. Oh, yes. It's going to refer to the same variable, right? So if you create name, if you write it in total simple, I write in totally caps. Both the names, like both the variables are going to be the same variable that they are referring. You make this. That's it. What you are asking is like what you have written over here, name equal Dasit, comma name equal Madhuranga. Yeah, first the variable name will be assigned with the Dasit, and in the second line, the name will be assigned with Madhuranga. Like there is no error is going to be there. It's just we are filling the space of the memory, or like space of the particular variable. It's going to go accordingly. Okay, people, are we done writing? Can we move forward? Okay, I'm moving forward. I mean, very liked it. Okay. Next up is makeup. Let's take off the wig. Yes. And go with the heading reserved words. Details. Let's go with the point form.
Ready, look.
And write these pseudocodes. I'm sorry, the reserved words.
Ears. Color them. Let's read.
Right, let me know when you're done. No, Tisandara, you don't need to by heart the keywords, right? Like most of the keywords, you will be facing those things when you are writing the Pascal programming. So you don't need to by heart it. Are we done writing, people, everyone? Anyone who is still writing? Okay, moving forward. Standard data types in Pascal. Did you write on my shirt?
No.
No, right?
It's on the table.
Okay. So let's write these things, people. Standard data types in Pascal.
Nothing. Nothing.
So these things with examples. Okay, are we done here?
Wait, there.
Okay, two are done.
Two are done.
Yeah, that's it. Let me explain that to you. So like there are 5 types of data types: integer, real, boolean, char, and string. Integer is for whole numbers, which is going from like where the positive and the negative, both the whole numbers can be taken. Real means the decimal values. So again, it can has both positive and negative numbers. Boolean is just, it is having just 2 values, which is false and true. And when it comes to the strings, when it comes to the char is just a single character input, which is limited by the single quotes. And the string, it's a collection of characters. You can use any kind of characters inside this string. It will show you the result as a string. Okay, are we done here? Can we move? Can we move forward? Anyone who is still writing?
So finished.
Okay, moving forward.
We're moving backwards.
Write about this variable.
We even write two.
Right, so after you are done with this, it's better you go with the examples over here. Does it? Is it enough?
Whoa. Snag it to the other side.
Okay, one is done. How about others? Let me know when you are done writing, people. Okay, one is done. How about others?
Well, I'll make more.
So people who have done, go to the constants. Right, so moving forward. Yeah, you had to write the entire thing. And meanwhile, what's the difference between the variable and a constant? Who can tell me the difference between a variable and a constant? So the difference is variable can have different kinds of values at different times of the program, like during the program when it is being executed, we can have different kinds of values. So constants, not like that, they don't change. Yes, that is correct. They do not change. Once a value is given, it is fixed. Are we done? Can we move forward? Okay, is there anyone who is still writing? All right, moving forward. Yes, now then we are going to learn about the operators. Now, as you can remember, last week we did a small program using Charm Pascal, right? Can you remember that? So through that program, do you remember how did we start writing a Pascal program? What's the very first line that we need to write? Yes, how we are going to start the program, people? It's with the keyword program, right? And we need a name for the program. And then two brackets will be used inside it. Input, comma, output is there. And at the end, you should have a semicolon as well. And then we are going to define the variables that we are going to use inside this program. So to add two numbers together using a Pascal program, how many variables do I need? You can refer to the programs that we have made, the pseudocode or the flowchart. And how many variables do we need? Yes, or Sydney, okay, two. We need two variables to take two numbers, right? So let's assume this program is designed to take two integer numbers. So how I'm going to initialize these variables? We can use the keyword var, right, which stands for variable. And I'm taking my two variables as x and y. So x, comma, y. Those are the variable names. And I'm going to put a colon. And I'm going to write what's the data type is. Right, so there are 5 data types as we wrote on your book, like the integer, real, boolean, the char, and the string. So this is taken as the integer. So I need to put a semicolon. Then after, I'm going to write my algorithm in between begin and an end. So when we are using the begin and end, begin does not have a semicolon at the end. It's a special situation that we are, the place we are not using a semicolon. And as well as at the end of the end, we use a full stop instead of a semicolon. Right, so inside the begin, we are going to write the algorithm that we need to take two numbers from the user and to have the addition, right? So how we are going to take two numbers from the user? Like when we start the program, as you can remember, it's going to be a black screen that is presented to the user. So on that black screen, we have to give some idea, or we have to say something on that black screen to make the user to input two numbers into this program. So what should be the plan? What we are going to show on the screen for the user to make him insert two numbers. Yeah, Udamya, read will be used to read the user given value to a particular variable. So first, we should write something on the screen. It's like we are when we insert a card into an ATM machine, it shows us a message, no, insert the pin. So we will be getting the idea, okay, we have to insert the pin. Likewise, what kind of a message that we should give on the screen? Yeah, we should use the write or the write ln functions. So what's the difference between the write and the write ln function? Write ln function will move the cursor to the next line after he has written something on the screen. But write function does not move the cursor to the next line. Instead of that, it maintains the cursor on the same line. Right. So here I'm using the write ln. So it will show the message what I am suggesting, and the cursor will be moved to the next line to for the user to give the outputs. Okay, so the write ln, inside the write ln, I'm going to write a message or to write the phrase which indicates or which gives the idea for the user to input a number into this. So I can simply say enter a number. It's better I say enter first number because we need two numbers. Right, so when we write the write ln, now when you run the program and in the Charm Pascal, we need the read ln line to hold the screen for the moment. Right, so here we run. See, so enter first number and the cursor blinks over here. So I can enter a particular number over here. So once I enter the number, if I press enter, the program ends because that's the things that I have said here. So what I should do, when the user input a number, that number must be read into the variable x of mine. That is why I'm using these two variables. So I take first number as x, I take second number as y. So how I'm going to say, remember the user input, or like assign the user input into the variable x. We can do it using the read ln function. Read ln or read, both will do the same thing. Right? So I say read ln, then I'm going to mention the variable inside the brackets of the read ln, which gives the instruction to the Pascal. When the user inputs something after this phrase, assign it to the variable x. Is that clear, everyone? All right, so how we are going to have the second number and assign it to the y? We can have the similar kind of statements, right? And I'm pasting it over here. So this is going to be enter second number. And I'm going to read it to the variable y. Okay, so now we have used the x and y to get the value of the user. And if we want to show the total of the user given inputs, what are we going to do? We need to do the calculation, or in simple terms, we have to add these two together to take the total. So I can say, take the value of x, add it with the value of y, and assign it to the total. When we are going to assign something to a variable, to some variable, that variable comes on your left hand side. So I'm going to take tot, which indicates the total, and I'm going to say, or I'm going to indicate, assign the addition of x and y to the total. So when you are writing the pseudo codes, we wrote it like this. But when it comes to the Pascal, we can't use just the equal sign to have an assignment, because in Pascal, assignment operator works like this. It is a colon and an equal sign. So now this says add x and y together and assign it to the total, or the variable called tot. And again, I'm having a problem over here. All right, so I'll show you the error message. Here's the error message. It says identifier not found, tot. Why something like that is there on my error list? Yes, any suggestions? No, not that Sasrika. We haven't used the space because Sasrika, this space does not count, Sasrika, because it's just one word, Nipuda. So TOT is a valid name. This space does not matter. This does not matter. And Dinelka, your suggestion is correct. Variable should be presented at the first. Yes, because it needs to be introduced first. We only introduce two variables, x and y. But I'm using a new variable called tot. That have to be initialized. So I'll initialize in tot as another integer variable. So what I can do, simply go to the right side of the y, put a comma, and put tot. Okay. So still I'm having an error. It says what? Semicolon expected, but identifier read ln found. What is the error? Or in other words, what did I miss in the line 8? Yeah, the semicolon. I need a semicolon at the end of this line because we have to use the line terminator like almost every statement in the Pascal. Like only a very few statement does not have a semicolon at the end. Okay. Is it all right, people, now? Like, will it give us the output that we want? Will this program give us the output that we want? Or do we need to do anything like Should there be any additional statement into this program other than this? Yes, people. Let's run this and see. Here we are going to run it. Yes, Dinarka. That should be there. Right, so I'll enter 10 and press enter. So it is asking the second number. I'll give 20. And once I press enter, nothing comes as my total. But we have calculated the total inside the program. Right? So that means it does, like, even though we calculate what is total, we haven't shown it. We haven't show it to the outside. So to show the total, we need another right ln. And no, does it? If we use just equal sign, it won't be a floating point output. It will give you an error because equal sign is used to do a comparison. To do a comparison, there should be only two things at the left and the right. Since it is not like that, it's going to give you an error. So here I'm writing another right ln saying total is. That's the trace that I need to show on the screen as it is. Total is space, colon, and another space. Then after this, I have to show the value of the tot variable. So I say put a comma and the tot is given to be shown. Right here, I haven't used single quotes to limit tot because I need the value of the tot. So when we need of value of a variable, we just use the variable as it is. When we put something in single quotes, it will be shown as it is. Chanuri, though there are two differences in between the read ln and write ln. Write ln we use to display something on the screen. Read ln we use to save something onto the memory or like to capture something which is given by the user. Right? So the same thing is done by the write and read as well. Some smaller difference because they are not going to create a new line for the cursor. They are going to keep the cursor on the same line. But write ln is to show something on the screen. Read ln is to read something from the program to the main memory or to the memory in simple terms. Okay, so let's run this and see. So 10 is given, 20 is given, there you go. Total is 30. So our program has happened. So now it works quite fine. Now to do the addition, we have used the operator, which is called the addition operator, the plus mark. So like like in your mathematics, the operators that you have used, all those operators can be used in the Pascal programming to do the mathematical operators. So the basic things like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Right, as well as here we have learned another new operator, which is called the assignment operator. So it is always a colon and an equal when we are assigning something to a variable. Now let's say we have to assign the value 10 to a variable called a. How we are going to write it? We need to assign 10 to the variable called a. How we are going to write it, people? Yes, people, how we are going to write it? Dinelka, just the equal sign will not do it according to the Pascal. Yes, Udamya. It's 10. No, it's the other way around, Dua. It should be the other way around, Udamya. A should comes to your left. The value should comes to your right. So we have to write it A colon equal 10. Does it? It's not the equal sign. Don't mix this up with another language. Stick to the Pascal, because like when it comes to the different kind of languages, they have different kinds of operators, right? So, okay, how we are going to say assign 45, assign the string variable ABC. Let's say assign 45 to the variable called Y. How we are going to write it? Assign 35 to the variable called Y. Yes, Udamya, that's correct. Pehara, that is correct. Very good, Pehara, you have written the entire statement. You end up with a semicolon as well. Very good. So it's always like that. When you need to assign a value to a variable, always remember to use a colon and an equal sign, right? Okay, so likewise, there are different kinds of operators in your Pascal program, right? So these are the algebraic operators that we can use. So those are some simple terms. Addition indicated by a plus, subtraction indicated by a minus, multiplication as you use in the Excel, they indicate it using a star, division, a backslash, and two new operators are there, div and mod. So what do you mean by div and mod? There you go. When you divide some number from a particular number, so div gives you the quotient or the answer of the division, mod gives you the remainder of the division. Tisandara, you are asking about colon and the equal, right? Just colon and the equal, right? Yeah, that is what you call the assignment operator, Dua. Right? Assignment operator, right? Okay. So you better remember what are these things and why div is there, why mod is there. So as you can see, 20 div 6, the answer is 3, because when the 20 is divided by 6, there are 3 groups of 6 for 20 and 2 is remaining. So 20 div 6 gives you 3, 20 mod 6 will gives you 2, because mod gives you the remaining part. And as well as there are comparison operators. Right now, remember, when you use the comparison operator, your result will be presented as a Boolean value. What do we mean by the Boolean value? It will be either true or false when it comes to the Boolean values. Right? So any comparison, larger than or equal, less than or equal, equals, not equals, any particular comparison is going to give you the value or the result as a Boolean value. Right? Is that clear, people? Okay. I'm getting a question. Yes, you can define it like that. Does it, we are not defining var equals, that's a wrong way, that's a wrong syntax. See in this program, this is the nature of introducing the variables. var space, the names of the variables separated by a comma, right? Then the type of those variables. Okay, people, are we clear with the comparison operators? Right. And there is something called logical operators as well, which is related to your logic gates, right? Look at that, AND operator. So AND operator is just indicated by the word AND. And when we are using the AND operator, the left-hand side and the right-hand side values should be indicating Boolean values. All right, so here, as it shows you, rainfall larger than 56. So if the variable rainfall indicates 30, so what about the result of this bracket? If the rainfall is 30, is it true or false? It's going to be a false, yes. If the temperature is 20, what would be the output of this bracket? It gives you a true, yes. So what's going to be the final result then? One side it got a false and the other side got true. So it's going to be false because in AND operator, the output true will be generated when both the operands are true. If any particular value is going to indicate false, your output or the final output is going to become false. Okay, is that clear, everyone? All right. And the O operator is working as the O gate. If any of the operands indicates true, the final result will be true. When both the operands are false, then only the final result is going to be false. So the same example, same kind of examples are there. Look at the second example over here. 3 larger than or equal to. Is it true or false? Yeah, it is true because 3 is larger than 2 but not equal. But so since both the operands are there, both the operators are there, so it is true. And what about the right hand side comparison? 3 not equals 3. Now this is the sign of not equals. So 3 not equals 3. Is it true or false? It's false. So what about the final result? Final result is going to be true, yes, Udamya, because the left hand side it's true and the right hand side it is false. So true or false will give you a true. And there is a not operator as well. Unlike the AND and the O, not cannot handle 2 operands. It's just one expression it can take, right? So when true is associated with not, it provides you false. When false is associated with not, it provides you a true. Right? So look at this. As a second example, it says not 5 equal 5. So 5 equal 5 is going to give you a true. Then not true means the final value is false. Yeah, Chanuri, I will go through it again about the AND operator. So AND operator, you can recognize it from here as well. Look at this. 3 larger than or equal. Like first example, like you are talking about this one, the rainfall and the temperature thing though. Okay, here like we have taken some assumed value there. We make an assumption that the rainfall is 30. So 30 larger than 56 is false. We assume temperature as 20. 20 less than 30 is true. So these brackets give you false. These brackets give you true. So false and true is going to provide you a false. Is that clear? Great. So for all these operators, these are the operators for your syllabus. So for all these operators, they have a priority, like you are having a BODMAS in your mathematical subject, right? In your mathematics, this Pascal programming is also having their own BODMAS for the operators. So the top priority or the very first priority is given to the not operator. So if the not operator is there, it will be considered very first. And the second priority is given for the multiplication and division kind of things, right? So multiplication, division, div, it is also a division kind of one, a mod, again related to the division, and the AND operator. AND operator related to a Boolean multiplication. So it is considered by giving the same priority for all these operators. And the third priority is their plus, minus, and the O operator, right? So the O operator means Boolean addition, it indicates. So addition, subtraction, and the Boolean addition is considered as the third priority level. And the very last priority or the least priority is given for the comparison operators, which is equals, not equals, less than or equal, greater than, and greater than or equal. Are we clear with that, people? Yes, everyone? Is that clear? Okay, so great. Let's quickly write about these operators. We are not going to write much. So have the heading operators. Sandara, it's like only 2 lessons for the first term, like the programming and the next lesson. right? The system development, which is a small one, since you got 6 lessons. Okay, moving forward. So okay then, Uka. So the number 1, algebra operators, and you only need to write first 2 columns, right? So the operator symbol and the usage. After that, it's better you write this thing which indicates the div and the mod. Write the first column and the second column, operator and usage. Then write how the div and mod works. Okay, are we done? Denuka, that's going to be a problem, Denuka, like we are planning to discuss any particular paper when the term tests are there in the other schools. So I won't be able to do it just in the class because others are not really ready for do that, right? Okay, Sasrika, that's good. So keep it up. Right. Okay, Denuka. That's also a good one. Okay, are we done? Okay, so since the time is up, I'll give you a small homework. I need you to write the comparison operator. Can you please highlight the things that I'm telling you? So like write comparison operator and yeah, copy this entire paragraph plus the first two columns, right, at home. That will be your homework. So comparison operator, the paragraph, and the first two columns. So we'll meet on next week and we'll write about the logical operators and the read lens and the write lens as well. Then we'll move to the Pascal codings. Right. So thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to end the session from here just for today. I'll see you on next week for the very same time. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a very nice weekend.